What is going on, fight fans? Wow, did we get a lot of information. I just recently finished watching the August 13th event of the 58th annual WBC convention, and Esports Boxing Club and Steel City Interactive were on hand. They did about a 1 hour or so long interview with Ring Magazine. Ring Magazine interviewed both Ash Habib and Andy Turner, which are two of the head directors of the development of the game, and they gave us some gems. And actually, they even showed some gameplay footage. I watched the entire interview for you guys, and now let's go ahead and break that down. This is Edward, and you're watching Boxing Fanatico. Okay, so let's just jump right into this. There were some hidden gems in this interview. Now, the first thing that I want to mention is what they started talking about early on. So first of all, we got some more information on how the system of the tournaments, the esports tournaments, are going to work. So the esports tournaments, it just keeps getting more and more true to life and like full-blown simulation. I honestly believe that this COVID situation has allowed for all of these governing bodies and boxing, conglomerates to come together behind this game. In the event that something happens, they just want something else. You can clearly see it's oozing out through all of their acquisitions and through what they even mentioned in this interview. You will be able to not only win a sanctioned WBC belt, well, an EWBC belt, as I mentioned in my last video, but you will actually physically hold one and be the champion. So the title can move from you to other people, but you physically will have one. You can physically have one of those titles. So if you win the tournament and you win the championship belt, you become the #1 contender, you win the fight, and you win the championship belt, you will actually have a physical version that's a full-blown WBC title. It's just that it's for the EWBC sanctioned fights. This is how in-depth this is. It's not just you played a game online and you won some stuff. This is governing bodies in boxing. Even IBF is part of this, as well, as was revealed by this interview. You've won an official belt. You've won an official belt in the eyes of governing bodies. Your belt is official, so much so that you will carry your belt with you. Now, they even went into a more in-depth conversation on how that tournament system will work. They said that they will be a quarterfinal, semifinals, and finals event, all held in a single venue. So it looks like they're trying to get it where you're actually on location. You're probably going to get flown out. All of these different kind of special things will be happening with you. You're not just going to be playing at home. And of course, if there's any type of like pandemic like what we have now, maybe you stay at home and it's all done virtually. But they're planning for the future, for this to, after all of this goes away, after we go back to normal, you will be flown out to a single venue. And it's not just the two people competing. It appears that the quarter, semi, and finals will all happen televised and for people to watch. And they're setting it up in a system where it's fun to watch. They want to make sure that it's not just like, like tedious to watch it. They're trying to actually create it in a way where it's fun to watch, which is why they're going to have you on location, because they probably want to be interviewing you live as you play. They probably want to film you, have like double camera, camera panning to your face, camera panning to the game, or have the game playing while they're showing you, just like a normal esports competition would be, where you're on location. That's what they're also trying to do with this. But the fact that you get a WBC belt, which is crazy because it's the green linear belt that, the most prestigious belt, but you'll get a E version of that, and you would actually be the EWBC champion as a gamer. mind blowing. Just beautiful, beautiful. Now they showed a bigger list of fighters that they've acquired. They've acquired now 50 plus fighters that are going to be at the launch of the game. And if you look at this screen right here, you'll see some few new fighters there. I got super excited when I saw Sugar Shane Mosley, but it's Shane Mosley Jr. Still pretty cool, but not, as cool as what I, was expecting. But look, Shane Mosley Jr. has been added to the roster. The roster is ever expanding as this becomes more serious and more people are working behind this. Now that we got 1024, the IBF, Ring Magazine, WBC, I'm seeing every single fighter just easily flocking to this game and not even caring about any of the other games that are trying to come out, because this game is going to be it. Now, before I show you the gameplay that they revealed, I am going to talk about the career mode, because they talked about the career mode in slightly more in-depth fashion. And whoa, what are they making? Are they truly making, when they said RPG, I figured, okay, RPG in terms of attributes and stuff like that. But the interviewer from Ring Magazine asked them, hey, how would it work? Like, can I, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to be doing? And then Ash Habib went into discipline. He said, well, if you don't show good discipline, you might gain some weight, and then you're going to have to, focus on losing the weight as opposed to training, specifically for winning the fight. And that could, mess you up for the actual fight. When he said that, they just brushed over it like, oh, you might gain some weight. And you go, what? Wait. You might gain some weight? What is this career mode? Bro, what is this career mode? So if you might gain some weight, why are you gaining weight? Are there distractions? Like, are you not just going from one training thing to another training thing? Are you truly RPG-like walking around in a world and then deciding I want to have fun? There's this arcade thing that I want to do over there. I want to hang out with my friends and I just not train. Oh, snap, I gain weight. How can you just by accident gain weight? You could easily just go through the training process of the weeks and then go to the fight. I can't see anyone not being able to do that just easily and having any incentive to be deterred to possibly gain weight and not stay focused and disciplined, unless this is a full-blown world that you're walking around in. And if it is, what? You didn't even have to do that. Like, this is over the top. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions because they didn't go that deep to say that this is some type of a world, but they said that and then they moved on. But my mind was blown because just why would you even have an element or a desire to not be disciplined? It doesn't even make sense to me. It only makes sense if there's a free roam scenario where there are fun things you can do on the side that will distract you from training and doing what you're supposed to do, like maybe jogging, down a mountain or jogging on the streets or something. Like, is this career mode this deep? Whoa, man, that just rocked me, bro. That just, I don't know, that did a number on my neurons when I heard him say that. But let's go ahead and move on. They mentioned that they will have seasons, which we've already spoken about. They said that they will have 150 plus fighters added within the seasons. So a lot of fighter acquisitions are happening. She also said, hey, what about the Four Kings? In reference to the documentary of the four, welterweights, which were Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, and Roberto Duran. And they were like, well, we can't say too much, but yeah, we're in talks with something related to what you just said. I mean, she said, what about the Four Kings? So it either means all of them or one of them or two of them or three of them. Like, what he just said was he confirms that either they're talking to Tommy Hearns, they're talking to Sugar Ray Leonard, they're talking to Roberto Duran, or they're talking to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That's it. So look out, we might get one of those in there. They also talked about the sculpting that they do. It takes them about 6 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks to sculpt legends that have passed away, because they want it to be at the level of, and they show some sculpting of people like Arturo Gatti and Joe Frazier. He kind of confirmed that so far with the rosters that they have, that Joe Frazier has the highest rating in this roster. So he made that confirmation that so far it appears that Joe Frazier has the highest rating of the boxers that they've acquired. Keep in mind, they haven't acquired any like major #1 fighters just yet, but based on all the legends and everything that they have to get put together, Joe Frazier is their highest rated boxer at this time. From what I gathered from his answer when asked by Ring Magazine who's the highest rated boxer. They also mentioned that from the 150 plus fighters that will be added in seasons, they have over 100 fighters in discussion right now that they are trying to license for this game. So this is going to be massive in terms of the amount of fighters that you can choose from in boxing. I know you guys want to get to the gameplay, but I just want to mention a few more things before we get there, because obviously that's going to be like the biggest reveal in terms of the details that we've gotten. But they also said that they were approached by betting organizations. So, you know, like Las Vegas betting. So betting organizations, places like Las Vegas, they want to actually be able to bet on you as a fighter fighting other people in this, you know, sports. They want to be able to have people make bets on, are you going to win or is the other person going to win? They fully want to embrace this as like a video game version of boxing in real life. They want everything in here. So they talked about the fact that they've been in talks with multiple betting organizations, and they are looking to go that route, as well as they want to be able to fully embrace the feeling, the true to life feeling of, you know, being a e-boxer. They want you to truly be a full-blown e-boxer with all these boxing organizations, IBF, Ring Magazine, WBC, all of these the governing bodies being connected to this game, and also betting being applied to it. It's like, geez, you're going all out for this game. I mean, wow. And the career mode, like, are you kidding me? I'm still blown away by it. You can gain weight because you're not disciplined. That's mind-blowing. They also mentioned, I forgot to say with the career mode, that you can move up and down in weights, and you can unify all the titles. So you can say, hey, I want to unify all the title at welterweight, and then you can move up to junior middleweight and say, I want to unify all the titles at junior middleweight. You have to make weight for your fights. So, I mean, am I the only one that's still kind of blown away by this? I feel like I need to let this go, but I just can't stop thinking about that. Anyways, the game is scheduled to release on December 2020 for PC, and then Q1, so the first quarter, so the first 3 months, within the first 3 months of 2021 for consoles, which is the Xbox One, the PS4, Xbox Series X, PS5, and even the Nintendo Switch, which I thought was bizarre because this game will have to be downscaled a lot in terms of graphical fidelity if it's going to the Nintendo Switch, but they're planning to bring it out on the Nintendo Switch too. So if you have a Nintendo Switch and you want this, kind of cool, because you can have this game on the go. And if you want to just do career mode on the go, this is perfect. This is a perfect way to have Esports Boxing Club be on the go for you. Let's go into the crux of everything, which is the gameplay. So they showed off like a shadow boxing kind of gameplay thing. It was shadow boxing essentially, but you can see them moving around. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the clips here. You can see them moving around. As I'm watching it, I'm thinking, is this actually in-game footage or is this motion capture? But then I saw this animation jerk, and you only see animation jerk when there's an animation transition. So no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, you'll always have an animation jerk, because if you're playing a game, there has to be a switch from one animation to the other, and they try to make it as seamless as possible. But when there's an animation jerk, it shows you that what they're physically doing is actually in game. They're actually moving in game. Although this is an alpha footage, you can tell just by that movement right there that there is an animation jerk, which means that they are physically moving this character with a controller. And this to me is just fantastic. It looks good. The movements look good. I hope they add more variety elements or more signature movements for each individual fighter. I think they just rendered maybe one person's movement, and then they just showed different fighters doing that one person's movement. But they can probably add different variations of movements. They probably just showed us one type of movement in the game that you can do. But they're probably motion capturing other types of movements so that they can be in different categories or different styles of fighters. And maybe some fighters have their own unique movements as well. So this is pretty cool. I'm glad we're finally getting something. I do want to see what the contact gameplay is going to look like. I want to see what it's like when they're roughing up, getting in the trenches, when they're fighting another person, not just showing themselves, doing some shadow boxing. I want to see how it is with actual combat. That's important to me. But what I did like here was the foot movement. You can see things are very fluid. You can see there's small steps, bigger steps, wider steps, little quick steps that are in tune with the punching. I really, really like that. I really enjoy what I see here. So hopefully we get more information. This was literally an info bombshell. They dropped so much information. It was pretty nice to see that the WBC is taking this much, it cares about it this much that it gave it an entire 1 hour slot on their convention, in their convention. So I'm super happy. Of course, any more info drops, you know where you're gonna get it from. Right here, Boxing Fanatical. I'm gonna go ahead and drop all that info for you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the animations itself. Did you like the animations? Did you not like the animations? How did you feel about it? Like what, are you expecting a little bit more? Do you want them to show more? I definitely want them to show more. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please hit a like and share this video because we are trying to get not so much Boxing Fanatical to pop, but Esports Boxing to pop. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just want as many people to get their hands on this game. I just want the game to be successful. So hit that like. It helps with the algorithm so it gets reached out to more people. Hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping more content every single time we get information. And go ahead and share this video so we can spread the word about Esports Boxing Club. Thank you for watching. This is Edward, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, guys.